Well, hello there. How is everyone? I hope you are all well. You amazing, amazing people. You are looking absolutely amazing. And look, you're going to continue looking amazing into 2024, which is only a few hours away. Would you have thought it? Where has 2023 gone? But anyway, I'm doing this video. I weren't going to do a video, but a lot of people, and when I say a lot of people emailed me, reference the Goncalves family post that they had done pre-demolition of 1122 King Road. I had seen it. Me and Steve have had our backwards and forwards recently, so I weren't going to speak on it. But look, I've got to remain true to who I am. And I've covered the Idaho 4 case. I've covered every single element and aspect of it. And it would be disingenuous of me to see something like this post and completely ignore it. Because obviously I have comments about it. I've got thoughts and feelings about it. So let's touch it. Touch it. That sounded a little bit perverted, didn't it? Like some weirdo. So this is our family statement that went out to the media yesterday. Now, I don't know who wrote this, and we're going to come back to that later. The house is set to be demolished today. It's gone. It's flat. Busted. And we've all got thoughts and feelings about that. Please pray for our family, as this is an extremely emotional day for us, which I can appreciate. Please stop the demolition of King Road Home. Bit late now. It's a bit like closing a stable door after the horse has bolted. Stuff regarding the demolition of that house should have been set into place when the mere mention of it happened. There should have been more effort from all of the families to protect this property until after the crime scene and after the trial. Do you know what I mean? And that's my thoughts and feelings. They could have prevented it, I think, if they'd have all got together. But what with Ethan's family seemingly up the back end of the fraternity sororities, do you know what I mean? And I get it in a way. They obviously feel perhaps protected by that. They would it have done them any favours if they'd have gone up against them? I don't know. And they've got in the corner, the blue corner, and they're staying in there, and so on. And this is, like I say, closing a stable door was after the horse is bolted. But anyway, when the victims can't speak, you have to speak for them. When you feel someone is hurting the case, let's just answer the question on why the King Road house should stand for basic evidentiary purposes. It's interesting. So let me bring this back over here. So, number one, what were the vantage points of the roommates? Dillon. I don't know who this Dillon is. Someone who was with Bethany, obviously. This seems to be a male, based on the fact that this seems to be the male spelling of Dillon. And that's only going to further perpetuate some of the rumours that have been thrown up against Dillon Mortensen, isn't it? And whether maybe that was a Freudian slip, who knows, but not in the best taste. What could they hear from where they were in the house? What could they see? How far away was Dillon? That's spelling again. When she saw BK, and why didn't he see her? Could the surviving roommates hear a dog barking from the third floor? Screams. Can you hear those same sounds from the bottom apartment? And what I'm going to say, it will be interesting to see, because this is basically just number one. We might not read this entire thing, because I know the vast majority of you have probably read it, and it's on the screen. If you want to pause it, you can. I'm just going to touch on some important pieces of it. But this is questioning the integrity of the surviving roommates, isn't it? In my opinion, this is kind of, what did they see? What did they hear? So is it to corroborate their story? Is it to bring what they say into question? Because by now, either you know whether they heard this, that, or the other. Did they hear? Didn't they hear? If they did, I don't see the point in that, because this section here is questioning them and their journey through what happened. And you know, I've questioned it. I think we've all questioned it. We've all questioned the 8-hour time delay, so on and so forth, and we've caught some fucking flack over it. And this is again questioning that situation. You know, could they hear a dog bark? And we'll fucking ask them. Do you know what I mean? Do you not know? Has there not been a conversation? Seemingly not. Outside the house, if evidence is presented about BK leaving or watching the house, what windows could he see in from where he was parked? It weren't long ago that we was insinuating, or this camp was insinuating, that he was indeed watching. He was outside. He'd gone to this property specifically to look at the property. Oh, it fucking annoys me. How long did it take for him to walk to his car? What points of entry could he have gotten into the house? Well, we know what points he could have got. If there is audio evidence, what can you hear standing outside the house? What can you hear inside the house? And this is just basically talking about walking the jury through the actual property itself and letting people feel the crime scene, feel what happened. We saw the same with the Murdoch situation, and people keep saying there's LiDAR scans of this place done, there's ways and means that this can be digitally done, but digitally done isn't going to fill in many, many blanks, and it may also form a false representation of this property, a false representation of what happened in that house. And look who's here. And that's the concern. Do you know what I mean? You can't recreate the atmosphere. You can't recreate the acoustics. You can't recreate what it would have been like to have been in that house on that night. The house is gone now. So again, the aforementioned closing the stable doors after the horses bolted. But that's what this is talking about. They go on to talk about, and we'll bring me back up. Like I say, we don't need to read through the whole thing. It was on the screen, you can pause it. But they're talking about the trial, setting a trial date. Now, there is a hearing set for the arse end of January, where, Brian Koberger's kind of, where he's challenging the refusal to dismiss the indictment. They're looking at prosecutorial misconduct, the lack of evidence. And I think that is a massive thing in this case. There does seem to be a lack of fucking evidence. And, that's been a general theme throughout this entire case. We've seen the defense requesting discovery over and over and over again. That magic 10th time that drives everyone crazy. 9th is fine, but 10th is nuts. So if they haven't been getting anything, and if they're trying to get stuff, then it is going to get to a point, like we're saying out here, the other side of the fence. We are turning around and saying, if all you've got is what we have access to, the public, then there isn't enough. In my eyes, my opinion, I'm not a lawman. I'm not, I am just someone who is interested in true crime, and I have an opinion. I'm an opinionated person. But in my eyes, there just isn't enough evidence. And when you see this crap happening, it just doesn't sit right. This house going just doesn't sit right. And, like I say, we can nitpick on who Dillon is and the spell, and that just seems to me just a little bit disingenuous, to say that you're fully supportive of them, you're backing them, you haven't got any issues, but then you can't even get their fucking name right. And then I'm the bad guy. Harsh is the bad one because he questions the 8-hour time delay, or he's got the bollocks to turn around and say just things don't sit right, and I'm going to question them. But this house, this should have been questioned, and this could have been stopped, or should have been stopped long ago. Long ago. This shouldn't have ever been a thing. The family should have got together, stuck together, and picket lined out there and got people to support them. They've got, Kaylee's army. Get Kaylee's army and stop it. But it's too late now. This is gone, and this seems to me just now it's gone to make it look like it bothered you. It was important. It was, it's a talking point now to discuss it and to bring it up. It's gone. Doesn't matter now. It's finished. You've just got to hope and pray to God that the people that you've entrusted, or you've got to entrust to work through this and get the right outcome and to get these victims the justice that they deserve, you've got to hope they're doing it right. You've got to hope that they've got more than they appear to have. Because one or two things are going to happen. Either an innocent person, well, there's a few options, isn't there? Either an innocent person is going to get crucified for it, and a guilty person or persons are going to walk. or you're going to have potentially a guilty person walk free, which is again something you don't want to happen. All we want is for justice, the right people, person to get caught, get convicted, and get punished for this crime. And at the moment, it just seems up in the air. Up in the air. Let me know down below what you think. I think this is going to be the last video of 2023, so I want to wish you all a very, very happy new year from me and him. Say happy new year. Happy new year. Yeah. And we'll catch you all in 2024.